I know a lot of you are not staying with your grandparents, but how long does it take for you to reach them? 45 minutes? 1 hour? Shouldn't be too long. I just want to tell you that a lot of you are really fortunate enough just being able to visit your grandparents almost any time you want. So go visit them. They're waiting for you.
But what have we done for them? Ladies and gentlemen, in society today, we frown upon people who do not give up their seats for the elderly on public buses and trains. We frown upon those who bully our elderly workers when they are slow or make mistakes at work. And lastly, we frown upon people who abandon their elderly parents, leaving them to fend for themselves. But have we ever took a step back and scrutinized ourselves? What have we done for our elderly? I'm sure that many of us here dare not say that we have done a tremendous effort to helping them. In that sense, we are really only the lesser evil. However, this all can change if we start today. If we start small in the efforts that Jia Hui has mentioned earlier on, I am sure that Singapore would be a more gracious society for the elderly to age in. This is a photo of my grandfather. Yes, this is the same grandfather that I knew ever since I was born. But every year, I visit him 3 times. You may ask why. In the words of a very famous Gojek passenger, is it because I'm Chinese? Well, of course not. We all know that regardless of race and religion, people like myself, Aislinn, as well as you guys, have experienced a loss of someone important in your lives. Yet, every year, we pay tremendous effort, money, or even our time to at least visit them at every opportunity we can get. If we do spend this amount of time and effort into appreciating someone who has left us, it is all the more so that we should actually start caring about the people who are still living around us today, especially our elderly grandparents. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all seated here today because of the single fact that we want to receive a better education. I'm sure all of you agree on this. However, in the midst of doing so, we must remember the efforts that our forefathers have put in, their blood, sweat, and toil for us to live a life that is better than them. Indeed, as my friend Sushan has mentioned just now, it is really high time that we show our appreciation and start caring for them today. We can give them the greatest gift of their twilight years, one of love, care, and concern. Fellow friends, before I end, I have a magic trick to show you all. If you all could kindly simply follow these simple instructions. Now, I need all of you to take out your mobile phones at this moment. And I'm pretty sure you all should take the opportunity to use it now, because it's not every day you can use your mobile phones while someone is talking in front of you. As you are already here, please unlock your phone and go to the contact page of an elderly who means a lot to you. It could be your grandmother, your grandfather, or an elderly that's close to you and you share a deep connection with. Now friends, once you are at that page, you may lock your phone screens and put them away. I'm sure that the next time when you open your phone to use it, which I am very, very sure that it wouldn't be a long time away, please press the call button on the phone and tell the person on the other end of the line 2 important things. 1, that you miss them, and 2, that you want to have a meal with them at the nearest possible opportunity. That, my friends, is the magic. This is how we take the first step into caring for our elderly. Thank you very much. We'll now open the floor to questions. So does anyone from the audience have a question? Yes.
as Jeremy was saying, like you have a grandparent or somebody that lives very far away. So in that case, how can we actually do more to show that we love them?
I offer 3 steps. The first one is to interact with them, and second one is to give information to them about what are the new government schemes and activities they can be enrolled in. And third step is to really visit them. So if we are not able to visit them due to time or geographical constraints, then we can simply call them, text them, help them know what the news, the people around. So by these simple steps, we are showing our care to them. Maybe visiting them is the most caring way we can ever think of. But more grandparents would really know that we are not able to be there with them because of this constraint. They will understand.
Any more questions from the floor?
So are you just proposing that spending time, right, and telling them that you miss them and you want to spend time to make effort to be with them is the most important, or is that sufficient?
To answer that question, it is definitely not a world-changing event just by having these small actions like visiting your grandparents, having having a meal with them at every spare opportunity that we can get. But it is a start. Our group here is proposing that instead of our inaction, we should take a start, because every big change starts with something small. And it is these small actions that we understand that youths today have many constraints, such as having too much stress on our academics, as well as having we do not have the financial capabilities to visit, to do much for the elderly, especially if you are talking about elderly that requires dialysis or heavy medical bills. But instead that we as youths, we all understand that by actually accompanying your grandparents, by spending just a little bit more time with them, we actually make a difference in their lives. They could be very lonely at this juncture. We will never know if they are living alone, how they feel, and we as grandsons, granddaughters, I think it is very important that we actually really spend more time with them, because we never know how long they are going to live and the span of their twilight years, and this is a very critical juncture for them to really experience that taste of happiness and that appreciation that we have for them. Thank you.
To add on Louis' point, because personally for me, I volunteer at a hospice that focus on palliative care. So many of the patients there, they are really at their end stage of their lives. So through some of my interactions with these patients, which are mostly elderly, they told me that they, like at this point of time when their time is so limited on this earth, what they really want to see is their family. Because even if you spend so many years working, you can't bring this money to your grave. That was what an elderly lady told me. And she told me that last time, because of her circumstance, she had to single-handedly bring up her own children. And because of that, she didn't manage to spend more time with them, which is probably why her children didn't reciprocate it. But that was like one of her regrets.
Alright, just to add on to the point that Louis has already mentioned, throughout this doing this project, our group has actually realized that there is really no shortage of top-down measures, government-led measures, and all the big projects that are really targeted at our aging population, especially in terms of building more infrastructure. But when we think about it, all these are really just big projects that don't really play much importance in the daily lives of our elderly. The closest thing that our elderly have to them is really their family. those who can support them whenever they need.
Okay, so I think that we are running short of time, so we'll end the question and answer here. But thank you for your questions.
Thank you.